Well, perfect. How are you this morning?
I'm absolutely fabulous. How are you?
Good. Are you super excited for opening night tomorrow night?
I am beyond excited, especially because this is like a hometown for me, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to be playing Fairfax.
So, tell me how you got involved in this. How you went from obviously you're a professional figure skater, which is amazing. But how did you get from being there to now being a part of the cast of Disney on Ice?
It is a whole application process, kind of like you would for a lot of jobs. They have something called casting notices on proskaters.org, including the Disney on Ice website. And I was looking for my next contract, and Disney on Ice is an absolute dream of mine. I had actually performed with them one season before in 2017. And I said, you know what? I'm ready to come back. Disney on Ice is like home for me. And I emailed the casting director because they usually have an email specifically for figure skaters because Disney on Ice is a branch of Feld Entertainment that has multiple different live entertainment shows. And you send just a resume, video of you skating, of course, and headshots, and fingers crossed, and I got an email response back, and I actually cried. I was so overwhelmed and happy with joy. And the next thing you know, they were like, okay, here's your contract. Rehearsals are here. We're excited to see you. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's a dream
Oh
come
my.
true.
So there really isn't it sounds like at least an audition piece after you send in everything. You don't have to come in like you would for like acting or something where they're like, okay, send in all your stuff, then come and do an audition piece. Sending in the video of you figure skating is your audition piece.
I would say yes, you can request what are live auditions. My very first live audition was before I took any professional skating job right out of high school, and I actually did it in downtown DC.
Oh my gosh.
And you get on the ice, you skate around. They ask you to do certain elements. They have you do a couple acting things because this is heavily acting and theater involved on ice. And then also skating in what's called edge work and blocks and lines in almost a theater style to know that you know how to skate and get along with the atmosphere of the rink. And that's one way of doing it. But yes, your video submission is like your audition. I have heard even with other companies that I've worked for, they could request, hey, can we specifically see you do XYZ, or could you do this as well?
Now, did you have a background in theater or was that something that you just kind of fell into with figure skating?
When I was in school, I was homeschooled my whole life,
Hmm.
but elementary all the way through middle school, for the co-op I was involved in, I did take theater classes and was involved with theater productions and choir and singing, things like that. Through the years, I have done several auditions for TV commercials, voiceovers. I even auditioned for a movie before, outside of my skating career,
Hmm.
because acting and theater, it's something I do want to keep up and practice so it portrays and comes out in developing my skating career, especially on
Hmm.
the performance side with such a large, amazing company as Feld Entertainment Disney on Ice.
So let's talk about the show and your involvement in it and kind of what the process has been so far, getting you guys from start to now, getting it up onto the ice. So what is that process like for you?
It's been absolutely amazing. I can't express how much of, oh, and it's very endearing and humbling. We all met up in Florida and for several weeks, and we did rehearsals, floor, on ice. We even did worked with some people who came in. We had amazing choreographers, directors. We listened to the tracks, obviously, and we just worked together as a team to really build this show and incorporate not just teamwork, but all of our diversities coming together as skaters, all our different levels of skating, highlighting our unique talents and abilities to put this all together, including the crew as well. They have a lot to do with, the beautiful set that's in front of us, the lighting that takes place, making everything look bright and colorful on the ice, and just everything incorporating together as a whole to make this epic story come alive.
Do you have a favorite song you get to perform to in the show?
I absolutely do. It is called Surface Pressure, and it is highlighting Louisa, and also Mirabelle is on the ice as well. And there's dancing donkeys, and it is absolutely incredible. I love it because everyone in the crowd is smiling, going crazy. And when I'm skating as well as an ensemble skater in the number, you forget about everything going on in the world, and you're just the happiest you can be and jamming out to the song, feeling the audience vibes. It's incredible.
Now, are you singing while you're skating, or are you just skating in the show?
I am just skating, but I will have to say I sing all the songs in my head on the ice and backstage because they're just absolutely so much fun.
How do you not sing them while you're figures? Because that would be my problem. I'm a huge Disney fan, so I feel like I would be out there just like mouthing the words or like wanting to sing, and then I'd feel like somebody would be like, "No, no, no, you can't do that. You're just here skating." I'm like, why?
Like I said, I'm singing the songs in my head with the biggest smile on my face because I just have so much joy, and that's one of my passions is expressing joy to others and having them feel that. And I do have to think about a lot of things on the ice as well, choreography, where am I supposed to go, things like that, and just jamming out in my head and with the choreography. So.
Would you say it's a goal of yours to one day be a lead in one of the Disney on Ice shows?
I have a lot of goals for me personally in skating, but I'm absolutely happy with whatever roles that are put in front of me to develop because even if you're not a lead role per se, like Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Mirabelle, any of those, I personally want to work on my development and say, hey, this is where I'm at with my skating. How can I get it to the next level? If I'm ready for that, that's great. If I'm not and like, hey, want to work with something else, then that's where I want to take it. I put all my faith and trust in the choreographers, the producers, the casting directors, because they are the most knowledgeable people there are. And I'm just happy to be here and living my dream too. I absolutely love the roles I've been given in the show and working on still, even after rehearsals, developing them, perfecting them, skating with others on the ice.
As an athlete, you, of course, with the show, you have to travel to so many different places, and you're only there for a segmented amount of time. It's not like you're there for 3, 4 months. It's either a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of days. So, as an athlete, how do you keep your body feeling good when you're doing all of this traveling? Because I've got to imagine that once you're into a new place, you've got to adjust to it, and you got to get yourself, back up to what we like to say 100% fit. But are we all ever 100% fit?
It's a great question. Even our production manager said something about this to us as a cast the other day about how important it is, to hydrate, to drink water, and just reminding us, electrolytes are great and all, but remember, fueling on just regular water every day is important. I love yoga. I'm actually a certified yoga
Oh,
instructor. I
wow.
keep that up as well because that is something I enjoy so much. A lot of the places where we go, we do have gyms where we stay, and that's something I do on my days off. And sometimes when we have a lighter show schedule, we warm up as a cast together, which is also a great bonding technique for us to get together as a cast, see how we're doing lifts off ice with my pair partner that I'm training with. And then another thing is I love skating so much. On my days off, I go to ice rinks. A great example is here. We got off of a bus ride, and a couple hours later, I went skating with a friend because this is one of my hometowns. But I was just like, no, let's go practice ice skating. I don't miss it already. And so that's something I like to do on my days off too. As long as I feel well rested, I go and just have a nice skate, go through my elements and things that I personally like to work on as well. And it keeps you in shape.
But I also have to imagine it keeps you mentally healthy too. Like I feel like, for me, I was always a soccer player growing up. So going out and kicking the ball around and just like playing a game, I feel 1,000% better after it. So I'd have to imagine for you with ice skating, on those days where you have off, sometimes just hitting the ice and going through what you would consider normal has got to be so good for your mental health.
Yes, absolutely. And we also have opportunities after or before the shows, when the house is cleared, to practice as well in our free time. And that's something I very much enjoy doing as well. And it's just like a nice breather. And it really just like calms me down and just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just my happy place, I guess you could say. Skating's my very much happy place.
It's a good place to be.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what does it mean to be doing this show in your one of your hometowns, as you noted, Fairfax?
It's mind blowing. It's been a goal of mine. I've been skating in ice shows for several years now, and I've never had the opportunity and luxury of playing one of my hometowns. And I'm beyond grateful and humbled and excited to share this amazing show, brand new show, Frozen 2 and Encanto, with the Northern Virginia community, and especially some of the local skating clubs that have reached out and said they were coming to the show, and to inspire these young skaters to, if that's something they want to do, to really fulfill their dreams and go for it. And the show is also an amazing story about family, sisterhood, everything, and sharing that with them. It's very meaningful and dear to my heart to be able to do this.
I also feel like it's a good opportunity for young skaters to see, obviously Disney means a lot to so many people, especially young children. So be able to see that in combination with figure skating, I feel like it opens the door to so many other opportunities rather than just seeing, well, if you're going to do figure skating, there's only one way to go, and that's to the Olympics. And it's like, no, 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 no. There's so many other avenues you can go. And I feel like Disney on Ice is a perfect showcase of that.
Absolutely. And especially with the Encanto segment, we not only have skating, we have aerial acts, we have some acrobatics, we also have beautiful visual effects that really just excite people. And it shows you can do so much with skating outside of, the avenue of, oh, you can only go to the Olympics or nationals. And it's a fabulous career to have as well.
So when you were saying earlier, it's hard. You've got to keep your eye on everything so you don't get distracted. I am just mind blown at how you're got to follow everything. But oh, there's an acrobatic act happening right here, and oh, an aerial. Wow, that came out of the ceiling.
Lots of practice and rehearsals.
So, what would you say is your dream goal right now? Where do you want to be? I hate saying in 5 years because I feel like everyone, nobody knows what they want to do in 5 years, but maybe, 10, 15, 20 years. What would you love to be doing?
I would love to be right here with Southern Entertainment Disney on Ice. This is my absolute dream come true. And I would see myself here 10, 15, 20 years. Like, I don't want to leave ever. It's that great. I'm not just saying that. That's really, I've gotten my dream job, and I'm beyond happy and excited and beyond blessed to be here.
Is there a particular stop on the tour that you're really looking forward to? Obviously, besides Fairfax.
Of
Is there
Fairfax was
one?
one of them. Yes.
Do you have another one?
Yes, next week, Hampton, Virginia. My family lives in Virginia Beach, and that is the other hometown where I was raised and
Oh my
skated some before
gosh.
coming to Fairfax. And I guess the other one would have to be Philadelphia. A lot of my very, very close friends live there.
Awesome.
Excellent community, and I used to go there every summer for several weeks, and they're already excited and have gotten their tickets to the show. So I'm like, yes, Philly.
What brought your family to Fairfax from Virginia Beach?
So what's funny is I'm adopted. I'm actually adopted from Leesburg,
Amazing.
County. I was in foster care there. My parents lived and worked up here. When they decided they wanted to have kids, they moved down to Virginia Beach, and my
Hmm.
dad would commute to work up here. He works in areas of our government and would drive and be here 3 or 4 days out of the week. I got to a point in my skating career where I needed very high level coaching, and that was around when I was in middle school.
Hmm.
And I was blessed to have the opportunity to be homeschooled my whole life. So my mom said, okay, you can go with your dad, and he'll drop you off at the rink for the day to train. And when he's out of work, he'll come pick you up. And I did my schoolwork in between sessions with my mother on the phone, and there was a lot of stuff I do on my own. And then when I hit high school, I was doing it virtually. And I trained there all the way through when I graduated in 2014, and I stayed there an extra year. I actually lived in Springfield, and I trained at Fairfax Ice Arena off Pickett Road. And even when I decided to go into shows professionally in 2014, I still came back a year later. And then I kind of just lived off the road, and I go back home to Virginia Beach to see my parents. I come back here, it's both
Yeah.
places are like home for me.
Awesome. Now, at what age do you think you knew that you wanted to be a professional figure skater?
I was very inspired by two coaches of mine who were very, quote unquote, in the show world, well known figure skaters. I had a great mentor, and she worked with me on some artistry. She is from here in Northern Virginia. She recently moved to Vegas, but her name is Anna Madorsky. She did many years as a principal holiday on ice skater. She even worked with the cruise ships and Karen Cressage in shows. And I do believe she worked with Disney on Ice a little bit as well before she retired. The other one is Elizabeth Rankin, and she worked with Wheeler Productions, and she was one of my jump coaches for when I went back from Northern Virginia on the weekends home in Virginia Beach, and she was a principal skater for them. And they would just talk about shows and traveling and how great it was. And that was the side of competitive skating I absolutely adored and loved, was being able to portray a story, getting the judges involved, getting the audience even involved, getting them clapping, getting them excited, and making the story come alive. And that's what I love about show skating, is we're given roles and numbers in the show. We're not just skating, and we're making these stories come alive. And it's something truly wonderful to, people come to a show and they want to forget about everything else in the world, and to really, rein them in and let them have this just beautiful, amazing time and share that joy and happiness with them. And that's exactly what we all love to do here at Disney on Ice.
Well, I could keep you here all day, but I'm pretty sure you have so much you need to get done today. So I'm going to wrap with one last question for you. What are you
Of course,
hoping fans who come and see the show get from it?
I hope that they get an overwhelming sense of joy, um, love, and be inspired by just the song and story of Frozen, like sisterhood and bonding and strength and courage. And then in Encanto, not just the amazing music inspired by the Colombian culture, but also, family and what it means to be family and everyone be different, coming together as one, and just taking that away and just being happy and having that with them when they walk away.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I'm super excited for everyone to see you on the ice here in Fairfax, and good luck and good luck on the rest of your tour.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing everyone at the show as well.